Good morning. How are we doing today? If you guys didn't know, my name is Sebastian. I'm here with my wonderful sidekick, best friend, Montana, aka Wild Card. So today we're basically going to break down. I don't even want to talk about it. Our beautiful Miami Heat getting potentially swept, not performing how they need to be, and I don't want to talk about it. I'm so sorry, Montana. It makes me cringe at the thought that there's a chance that we might get swept by the Milwaukee Bucks, as well as talking about the Nuggets Trailblazers game, which I have a lot to talk about. Very excited, very hyped up for the Suns Lakers game. I mean, you know what I mean? It's in dominant fashion. Montana might have called a gentleman's sweep here. I may have to correct myself and say that I was wrong. And we're going to break down, of course, the games tonight, starting with the New York Knicks, Atlanta Hawks, then the inevitable Nets Celtics. I don't even see why we really have to talk about it. Should be a sweep. And then lastly, the wonderful Luka Doncic and the Dallas Mavericks taking on the Clippers. What could potentially be a sweep as well. But let's get right into it. Montana,
what's good?
What you want to do?
What's good? How's everything?
Great, brother. Great.
All right. So the first game on the docket is the Milwaukee Bucks takedown of the Miami Heat, 113-84. Wah, wah, wah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Chris Middleton, 22 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, leads the way for the Milwaukee Bucks. The reigning MVP, 17 points, 5 assists, and 17 rebounds for Giannis Antetokounmpo. Brook Lopez had 13 points and 5 rebounds. Jrue Holiday had 19 points, 12 assists, and 3 rebounds in 34 minutes. DiVincenzo had a goose egg, a fat one, 0 points.
He got injured.
Oh, you did?
That's why.
No wonder he played 90 minutes.
Yes, sir.
Not 90 minutes, 9 minutes.
Yeah,
PJ Tucker had 5 points, 1 assist, and 3 rebounds. Bryn Forbes had 11 points and 3 rebounds. Pat Connaughton had 9 points, 1 assist, 3 rebounds. Bobby Portis, 11 points and 9 rebounds. Now let's get to the dismal Miami Heat starting lineup. They did absolutely nothing in this game. Goran Dragic, 8 points, 2 assists, 1 rebound. Wah, wah, wah. Bam Adebayo, 17 points, 4 assists, 8 rebounds. Typical Bam Adebayo stat line.
Yes, sir.
There. Jimmy Butler, I don't know what to say about this guy. He's folding hard on us right now. 19 points, 6 assists, 8 rebounds. That 19 points should be jumping into the 30s at this point. I don't know about that. Duncan Robinson, are we sure we want to pay this guy? Only had 2 points and 3 rebounds and 0 assists. Tyler Hero, who I'm starting to think may be a bubble fraud at this point, only had 9 points, 1 assist, and 4 rebounds. Bejelinka, or whatever his name, I don't know how to pronounce his last name.
Bielitsa.
14 points, 2 assists, and 4 rebounds. And Kendrick Nunn only had 4 points. We need to get rid of him already. Andre Iguodala only had 3 points. Dwayne Dedmon had 4 points and 3 rebounds. Only played 12 minutes, which is pretty weird. Precious Achiuwa had only 2 points and 2 boards, and Gabe Vincent had 2 points and 1 rebound. So, Sebastian, what are the odds that the Miami Heat somehow win Game 4 on Saturday?
I'm at this point. I think we might just. I had us going 6. Obviously, as a biased standpoint, I had us going 6 winning. But we're just not ready. We're not ready. We're not in the mindset. Like I said, I don't know if I mentioned it on the podcast yesterday or whatnot, but we're really missing Kelly Olynyk here. His ability to space the floor. Obviously, the team may be different if Oladipo doesn't partially. I think he partially tore it, or did he fully tear? Whatever it was. Him not being here after those trades. Yeah. Go ahead.
Ligament in his quad or something like that.
Something like that. Whatever injury caused him to be out and have season-ending surgery. The team is clearly, we either needed Kelly Olynyk or Victor Oladipo. So the trade was risky. because we knew there was a chance that he could somehow get injured again. But I mean, I just don't know. Like you said, are we willing to pay Duncan Robinson at this point? At this point, I was against the idea of trading for James Harden because they wanted Duncan, Tyler, and I think 2 or 3 first-round picks, and I think as well as Precious. I did not want to do it. But looking at the way that Duncan has played, looking at the way that Tyler has played, I think there's just going to be a lot of what ifs with this team, and I just don't know. I don't know what to think of the Miami Heat right now. There's a lot of things that need to be taken care of in the offseason. I already know there's a slight chance we win Game 5, sure, just to get our little hopes up. But honestly, I think we might just get swept. And then, bro, I'm just praying, bro. I'm praying that something is done in this offseason to give these boys help. Yes, Jimmy Butler should be scoring 20-something plus. Bam should be shooting the ball more productively. But they can't just be the focal point of scoring. You know what I'm saying? Look at the Milwaukee Bucks, right? They have Giannis 17, Middleton 22, Brook Lopez 13, Drew Holiday 19, with a few double-digit candidates off the bench. All we had was Bam and Jimmy 19-17 and Bielitsa at 14. Nobody else touched double digits. Not only do we shoot bad, Goran shot 3 for 14. Trevor Ariza shot 0 for 4. Duncan Robinson shot 1 for 6. 1 for 6. It's just very sad to know that the potential that we had going into the season coming off of that finals appearance. In my eyes, it's really just losing Jay Crowder, giving Myers Leonard that contract to end up trading him for Trevor Ariza, who's not the same as Jay Crowder, losing Kelly Olynyk, trading him away for Victor Oladipo, and then Oladipo going down and tearing his quad, calf, whatever the injury was. Losing out on Kelly or Victor Oladipo is our problem now. And so either we need to figure out if we're going to bring Victor Oladipo back, or we need to figure out if we're going to sign Duncan Robinson. Or are we going to go out and what Stephen A has always said, or has been saying the past couple of weeks, go and try and get Kawhi Leonard here? Is that what we're going to try and do? Is he going to come and save our team? I just don't know. So there's just a lot that needs to go into the offseason. Talk about. I love Spo. I don't think it's Spo's fault. The man can only do so much when nobody wants to shoot the damn ball correctly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know, bro. There's just a lot. I think this series is over. I think we just wrap it up, call it a night, and just figure out what needs to be taken care of in the offseason and just start tomorrow. Literally start looking at the future tomorrow. That's our best bet. What do you think?
So in my opinion, the Miami Heat, they I don't know what happened between games 1 and 2 and 3, but there's something clicked off because the scoring numbers aren't there. Either the Bucks are doing something different on defense to confuse them, or something's wrong. Because I know Spo after the game said he has to do a better job of getting the guys open more, but that starts with the leaders on the offense. I know they made some changes to the starting lineup with Dragic being the starting point guard now. I think that was a really bad mistake. Only 8 points starting the game, and then you have Kendrick Nunn and Tyler Hero who have 0. Really, I mean, they have experience obviously because they did that playoff run last year.
Yeah,
but it's just not the same level of competitiveness that I'm used to seeing from the Miami Heat, and it's been off and on the season, and it's getting kind of tiresome. And I believe they're starting to get a little bit tired now after playing so many games in this amount of month span that they've had coming off the Orlando bubble, only having a month really off and then having to come right back into it.
Yeah,
I mean, it's different. It's the Bucks are they made the moves to get better this year, and we honestly didn't. I mean, we tried to with Victor Oladipo, but it didn't work out. And honestly, there was nothing we could do about it.
No, absolutely. It was a gamble. It was a gamble trading for Victor Oladipo. Everyone knew it. but it's Victor Oladipo we're talking about. He's a phenomenal player if he's healthy. And unfortunately, he wasn't. He ended up getting hurt, so it kind of just ruined the not the culture, but it just ruined the idea of a potential, running it back in the sense of getting back there to the finals or getting back there to the Eastern Conference Finals and competing to potentially get a ring. But it is what it is. I can't be too mad about it. Obviously, my picks were biased. I love my Miami Heat. I'm always going to live and ride and die for my squad, no matter what. You know what I'm saying? If we dealt with our squads back in the day, and you know what I mean, 07, freaking all those horrible ass times. I mean, come on, So we can't be too mad. It is what it is, but we just got to move on, move past it, figure out what we got to do in the offseason, and come back next year stronger.
We can only go up from here.
Exactly.
Hopefully we'll talk more about the plans in the offseason once we get to that situation. But right now, there's still another game to be played, and I hope the Heat come out strong, like with their backs against the wall.
Yep.
Strong. You gotta at least put up a fight. I really don't want them to sweep us. Yep. So we need to go out and get Game 4 and show them that we're still fighting.
Absolutely.
So with that out of the way, the next game on the list is the Denver Nuggets and the Portland Trail Blazers. The Denver Nuggets winning 120-115. I admit I was wrong about Portland yesterday. I thought they would come and play a little bit harder on defense, and they obviously did not. So the Denver Nuggets box score, we had Austin Rivers, who had 21 points, 2 assists, 4 rebounds in 37 minutes of gameplay. Nikola Jokic, man, I don't know how this guy can be stopped. He had 36 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists. Michael Porter Jr. had 15 points and 5 rebounds. Aaron Gordon, the prize acquisition in the midseason trade deadline from the Orlando Magic, had 13 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists in 34 minutes. Facundo Campazzo had 11 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists in 32 minutes, almost had a triple-double. Those are the main scorers for the Denver Nuggets. The Portland Trail Blazers had Damian Lillard, who obviously played like Damian Lillard, you called it. He had the 37-point performance that we were looking for.
Yes, sir.
Had 5 assists and 2 rebounds in the game. CJ McCollum had 22 points, 9 rebounds, and 3 assists. Yusuf Nurkic had 13 points and 13 rebounds. Norman Powell had the occasional 18 points. Robert Covington had 6 points, 11 rebounds, and 4 assists. And Carmelo Anthony off the bench had 17 points and 2 rebounds. Sebastian, are the Denver Nuggets clearly the better team over the Portland Trail Blazers, or are we missing something?
All right. So first things first that I just want to get out of the way. Shout out to my man B Miller. You know what I'm saying? We made a little bet last night, and this man Nikola Jokic had 8 rebounds with 7 seconds left in the game. Our little bet had him getting 10 boards. 7 seconds left in the game, Montana. You know what happens? They miss a free throw. Nikola Jokic gets a rebound, tries to tip it in, misses. Gets his own rebound again, misses the tip in. Gets his rebound again, and then scores. The man with 3 seconds, I think it was in a span of like 1.2 seconds, he got 3 rebounds. 3 rebounds to end that game. Sure, it meant nothing, but it meant something to me as I won that bet. But that's beside the point. Now let's get into the game. The difference maker here clearly was Austin Rivers. Austin Rivers came out and he hooped. You know what I'm saying? That man was the difference maker. I don't think he's going to do that again. But I could, you know what I'm saying? I could be wrong. But like for him to drop 21 and for him to just be that impactful player down the stretch with the dagger 3, I think he might have just hit like 2 back-to-back threes late in the 4th, something like that. And he just banged it and saved the game for the Denver Nuggets. But I mean, like, okay, last game. So game 1, he had 6 points. Game 2, he has 9 points. And this game, he has 21. I don't know what Portland did. You're absolutely right. How you mentioned earlier, their defense was not what we expected it to be. I don't know what they did defensively, like what their focus was, whether it was around Joker, whether it was around MPJ, whoever it was, clearly led this man, Austin Rivers, to banging out 5 threes and scoring 21 points. That should not happen. If they don't let the role players do what the role players shouldn't do, I mean the Trailblazers should win. You let Austin Rivers, or you keep Austin Rivers to under 10 points or to under 12 points, they win that game. The fact of the matter is they allowed him to get up there. That shouldn't happen. If anything, get beat by MPJ or get beat by Aaron Gordon. Don't get beat by your role players, because Austin can do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's Austin's body. We can't just sit here and act like Austin Rivers is not like a hooper. You know what I'm saying? And obviously the bench at Portland has to step up. Like, they only had 19 total points off the bench. I don't know, man. Covington's got to just do something else defensively. He's got to step up a little bit on offense. 6 points? Nah, man. Like, I don't know what else Damian Lillard needs to do. 37 is a beautiful performance. Norman Powell's always going to give you 15 to 18, maybe 21 sometimes. Yusuf Nurkic will give you between 11 and 15, sometimes a whopping 19. And CJ McCollum, I mean, what else? You want him to drop a 30 bomb just like Damian Lillard? I mean, I guess. He shot 3 for 10, 8 for 20 from the field. Sure, he hits a couple more shots and it changes the game. But, I mean, CJ McCollum and Damian Lillard both played their entire starting lineup minus Robert Covington, which you can't expect a lot from him. Their entire starting lineup played like they wanted to win. I don't know if it wasn't going deep enough. Like, maybe a few other players should have played. I don't know. They went 9 deep. I feel like that's what Stotts always does. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what happened. Maybe it's just defensive, like you mentioned. I'm clueless right now. It was just a great overall game from both sides, and unfortunately, the Nuggets hit crucial shots late in the game to push them over the edge. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like the Portland Trailblazers are fine. Screw it. This can go to 6. Let's make this interesting. I had it going 5, but it's just Portland makes it interesting. Wins game 4, and then the rest is history.
Game 4 is definitely critical for the Portland Trailblazers, I believe. I mean, I said they would win game 3, but obviously I was wrong on that.
Yeah, so
on that take. So I think they have to win game 4, and I think they'll probably win game 4 if I had to guess, because the Blazers are a little bit better than we give them credit for.
Absolutely.
Damian Lillard had 37 points.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, if they don't get it out of the series, if the Blazers don't get out of the series, I could see Terry Stotts being fired and possibly Damian Lillard wanting to get out of Portland and maybe on a new team, because at this point he doesn't have that many years left, and he wants to win, and the Blazers probably don't give him the best opportunity to do so unless they decide to trade off some of their side pieces for an established star player, maybe like someone like Zach LaVine or Bradley Beal or someone like that in that caliber. But at this point, Nikola Jokic has to be the NBA's MVP this year. There's no doubt about it. The guy is a monster. He's a rebounding machine. He gets so many points in the paint. He can stretch the floor with 3-ball. The guy is on a different level of greatness at the center position. Michael Porter Jr. had 15 points. He didn't have to do everything tonight. He only had to do his floor. His low floor is the 15 range, but his high ceiling is around the 30-ish range.
Yeah.
And it was a decent performance only because Austin Rivers blew up in this game for unbeknownst reasons. Had 21 points. Besides that, the Nuggets are just probably the better team at this point. I mean, when they had Jamal Murray, people were talking about them as title contenders.
Yep.
So I mean, they should win the series, but I guess we'll see. I mean, you never know what could happen in the NBA. Things could change overnight. Last year we saw people up 3-1 and lose the series. The Nuggets usually were on the other end of that situation, and they did it twice in last year's playoffs.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's definitely going to be interesting to see. But I have Portland winning game 4, and I could see Denver winning in 6 games or 7, depends. But
Oh, you're changing the script now. Okay.
I mean, I could see
Okay.
Portland winning Game 4, Denver winning Game 5, Portland winning Game 6, Denver winning Game 7. It could go back and
Let
forth.
me find out. Okay.
I mean,
I
so
see.
we'll see. We'll see. I mean, it was a close game. I mean, it's not like the Blazers got blown out, so
No, yeah, it just
they
came. It
definitely
really
have a
came
shot.
down. Yeah.
I mean, it's gonna be interesting rest of the way. I just don't want to see. Now I'm starting to see some series get a little bit sketchy here. That we might be out of the first round quickly with some teams here, and
Yeah.
we'll get to that next series. Are you ready to go?
Yeah. We can go.
All right. So the Denver Nuggets win 120-115 over the Portland Trailblazers in the last game of the night. The Los Angeles Lakers winning 109 to the Phoenix Suns is 95 points.
Mm.
The Phoenix Suns had an
Mm.
abysmal game offensively, and we had a little bit of chippiness towards the end of the game. But Chris Paul played 27 minutes. He looked pretty good in the first half, making plays. But as the game worn down a little bit, he started to break down, and he was starting to feel the pain in that shoulder. Only
Yeah.
had 7 points, 6 assists, and 5 rebounds in 27 minutes. Devin Booker did not have a Devin Booker typical game. Only had 19 points, 6 assists, and 4 rebounds. DeAndre Ayton had 22 points and 11 boards. Cameron Payne had 15 points and 6 assists and 3 rebounds in 27 minutes. And Torrey Craig had 11 points and 4 rebounds and 1 assist. Los Angeles Lakers stat line. Anthony Davis had 34 points, 11 rebounds. The typical Anthony Davis double-double type game. LeBron James had 21 points, 9 assists, and 6 boards in 38 minutes of gameplay. Dennis Schroeder had 20 points and 4 assists and 3 rebounds. Besides that, everyone else scored in the low 10-point range. So, Rabbit, are you ready to accept that the Suns are in the brink of their demise and the Lakers are going to win 4-1?
No, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. Like I get it. I get it. The Lakers are great. The Lakers are nasty. It is what it is. I still think the Suns have a chance. Yes, sure. This was, I guess, you want to consider it a little blowout, but I still think there's a slight chance. I don't like how Devin Booker played with the 19, as you mentioned. CP3's injury is really looking like it might be something serious. I'm not saying the Suns are winning the series by any means. I think the Suns might, end up losing. I'm saying might because I'm not locking that in yet. I still have hope. But there's a strong chance if this injury in Mr. Chris Paul does not somehow heal, that I'll have to accept the fate that it will be a 5-1. I mean a 4-1, but in Game 5, you know what I'm saying? Montana, you're really pissing me off here at the fact that you were absolutely right. This gentleman sweep is gonna go down. I just don't want to. I don't want to accept the fate, bro. I don't. I got so much love. I got so much love for the Suns, man. They're like so underrated, and now everybody's just crap talking them. Like, oh, they don't deserve a second seed. Oh, they're not good. This is a horrible team. Easy. Like just all the negativity that I'm seeing on social media about this team. It just hurts. It hurts. I got so much love for all these players. You know what I'm saying? Like Devin Booker, Jay Crowder, Monty Williams, the coach. Like I got so much love for this team. And just to see them just absolutely destroyed on social media. It's very sad. But they're not playing the way they need to. They're not playing like game 1. They're not playing like how, like how they just I don't know, bro. I don't know what's going on. I'm absolutely being mind blown this year when it comes to playoffs. Like I thought I was doing good with my picks. I watched enough games to know what I'm talking about. But now the damn, like is it because Monty decided let me not play Dario Saric tonight? Let me play Frank Kaminsky. Is it because of that and that's why Anthony Davis took off? Because when Dario was in, obviously his defense is sus and all they have to do is little drop step and bucket. But Frank Kaminsky went 0 for 2. The man didn't even shoot the rock. He played 7 minutes.
I think when
But
Kaminsky was on the floor, the Suns were exposed defensively because
that's what I'm saying.
they could not
Like,
guard the paint. With
like,
Anthony
bro,
Davis and Drummond and Gasol, they're gonna bang down low, and Kaminsky doesn't. That's not his game. His game is to stretch the floor and shoot the ball. It's not.
exactly.
I mean, the Suns, that's their weakness off the bench, and can't play
That
DeAndre Ayton every minute.
every
That's the
minute,
problem,
yeah.
also.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. It's just I don't know what to do at that point. Like, there's nothing that they can do defensively to stop Anthony Davis. That game one must have just been like, oh, my bad, bro. I just had a bad game. I was da, 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 da. But like, Jay Crowder shooting 1 for 7 from the 3, 2 for 9 from the field. They shot, what did they shoot? 37.9% 3 points or 3. Oh my God, the Lakers shot worse. So how the hell did they lose this game, bro?
The Suns lost because they didn't shoot well. I mean, their star players didn't shoot well. Devin Booker and Chris Paul did not play good at all.
I know. I mean, Chris Paul, let's ignore Cliff Paul out there, bro. The damn shoulder looks like it's freaking leaning off of the socket of his shoulder. So let's just ignore Cliff Paul because it's not Chris Paul right now. It's his damn twin brother. But I don't know, bro. Devin Booker obviously needs to step up and have a better game. 19 is not acceptable. DeAndre, 22, he did what he needed to do to win. You know what I'm saying? Cameron Payne, 15, did what he needed to do to win. Needed to do to win. Sorry, let me enunciate. Jay Crowder, we could expect maybe some double-digit points. Mikal Bridges, and like something else. Chris Paul, obviously not having him healthy is what's holding them back. That's just been their problem. Him, once he got injured, his injury has caused them to just not be themselves because they don't have that experience. When no experience, it's going to hold them back. They can only do so much, and that's the end of that. What I want to talk about is that drama at the end of the game. I want your opinion on what you think was, you know what I'm saying? Like you heard what Anthony Davis said, correct?
I did. I heard that Anthony Davis said that there is no place in the game for pushing players out of midair, that they could possibly get hurt, which I totally agree with Anthony Davis on that side. I did see the play.
What do you think?
It was. I mean, he did push him out of the air, but could Schroeder have landed? Yes, but did he maybe flop a little bit? Maybe. But at that point, you can't. I mean, the refs went back and reviewed it. It was a flagrant 2, and he got ejected. So there's nothing. I mean, Jay Crowder obviously wanted to support his player. Him and LeBron were going at it the whole entire game.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, he called Anthony Davis's ring fake, which I don't know how you can say that considering he was on the Miami Heat last year. And if the Heat would have won it, would the Heat's ring be fake? I don't know. It's a great question. But I think Anthony Davis does have a point. I mean, it's still a dangerous play. You don't know what could happen. Could Devin Booker be possibly suspended for this game? I don't know. We'll see. I mean, game 4. It's this. Oh. I agree with Anthony Davis. You can't hurt, like, if you're putting another player in harm's way. I mean, how are you supposed to? I mean, that's not right at all, in my opinion. What about you?
Like, I'm gonna be real, and as real, you know what I'm saying? I'm always real. I think Anthony Davis making that comment was the most hypocritical comment he's ever made. Is it true? Yes. That play, not in particular. I don't think that play is as dangerous or as whatever as Devin Booker intended. It was a light little shove. And I think Dennis Schroeder sold it. He sold it. That's why when you see him roll into the ground, he's smiling. It wasn't an injury. It wasn't a possible injury like disrespect. Yo, screw this game. I'm going to shove you to the ground. Dennis Schroeder literally fell to the ground because he knew he sold it. He fell to the ground to make sure that it looked bad as it did. There's a different angle that you could see from the benches, or not from the bench, from the baseline POV, which is why I'm making that statement about him smiling. For Anthony Davis to make that statement when LeBron has done that 3 times, one of which was against Joel Embiid in the regular season, excuse me, why was LeBron James not? Why was that not a flagrant foul? Joel Embiid did the same exact thing, going up for a dunk on LeBron, and LeBron shoved him both hands, not one hand, 2 hands. Joel Embiid fell on the ground. Did Joel Embiid sell it? Yes. Did LeBron get a flagrant for it? Absolutely not. It was just a common foul. So it's a hypocritical statement for Anthony Davis to make when his teammate has done that not 1, but 2 times in the regular season this year. So I just don't understand. I don't understand how you're going to get butthurt about Devin Booker doing it. Mind you, Schroeder landed on Jay Crowder. It's not like, you know what I'm saying? He bounced off of Jay Crowder's body. It's not like if Jay Crowder's not there to catch Schroeder, that's a different story. That's a whole different argument we're having a discussion about. The fact of the matter is he basically landed on Jay Crowder and rolled off of Jay Crowder to the ground. Okay? If he's talking simply about shoving him, nobody there, okay, yes, I get that. I respect your decision. I respect the words. But for him to say that and then have his own teammate do it a few times, you can't be mad at Devin Booker about that. You can't come in here and talk all this smack, talking about Devin Booker, I'm sorry, but you can't do that. You can't do that. That's just my opinion. Go ahead.
I mean, it's still, no matter what, it's still dangerous play. The Lakers were in the right to be upset about it. I mean, if one wrong turn or one wrong landing, it could be a broken ankle or tibia or something. You don't know. No matter who it is, if it's LeBron or Anthony or Devin Booker, I mean, it's the referees called it as they saw it, the flagrant 2. Could you say LeBron might gets preferential treatment? Could be, but still, I mean, it's the Suns still lost the game. I mean, they were
absolutely
down. They were down by almost it was like almost a 15-point lead at that time. And when they ejected him, the game was out of hand. Jay Crowder, I don't know what his beef with LeBron is, but he got to be a little bit smarter in that situation. I mean, he can't afford technical fouls or being ejected. I mean, because this is the playoffs. If you get any kind of suspension for anything, it could cost your team the series. And we saw that with the Warriors a couple of years ago with Draymond Green, up 3-1, and they blew it. I mean, it is what it is at that point.
I don't know. I just don't think that play was a flagrant 2. I'm looking back at it again right now, and it just Dennis Schroeder is he's an inch off the ground. He's not even fully up there. You know what I'm saying? He barely gets up, and Devin Booker barely shoves him. I just don't understand how it's a flagrant 2. Sure, you could call it a flagrant 1, or you could call it whatever, a hard foul. But that's just that. Just looking at this play again, if Jay Crowder is not there, it's a different conversation. The fact of the matter is Jay Crowder was there. He bumped into Jay Crowder. If we're going strictly off of the intention in the if Devin Booker's ill will, this, that, and the third, okay, fine, I can agree. But it just I don't know. It's just blowing my mind that this was a flagrant 2. And I'm literally watching this 5,000 times. We can move past it. My bad.
It is what it is, man. The Lakers are officially up 2-1. They're 1 game closer. They have the next game at home. This game 4 is critical for the Phoenix Suns. If they don't come out and play hard in this game, the gentleman's sweep is on the table for the Lakers going into game 5 in Phoenix. So with that, we're going to break a little bit of a break for a second so I can remind you, the fans, about some important details. We are now available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. If you haven't already, please drop a follow or subscribe or do whatever floats your boat. Leave a rating and review. Tell us how much you love me and Sebastian. We're also on YouTube if you want to watch the VOD back later on Unspoken Rules on YouTube. Besides that, follow the Twitter, the Instagram. We're going to be doing a lot more content on there eventually. So now, with those quick plugs out of the way, let's move on to the next topic we have presented.
Sure.
Previewing tonight's Friday games. We have at 7 Eastern Time on ESPN. The Atlanta Hawks are now back in the A against the New York Knicks, tied at 1 apiece. We have Brooklyn Nets in Boston against the Boston Celtics at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time on ABC. And then we have the Dallas Mavericks back home, up 2-0 against the Los Angeles Clippers at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time on ESPN. So let's get into this. The first game on the docket, the Atlanta Hawks at home finally against the New York Knicks. Where do you see this game going since the first 2 matchups have been so close? Defensively, the Knicks got it. Offensively, the Hawks got it.
Yep.
So this series is going to be back and forth, I feel like, for the rest of the way. I don't know who's going to win each game. But Where do you see tonight's game going?
So honestly, I'm excited to watch this game. This is for me. The next two games for the latter or whatever of the night. I think the Nets Celtics. That's just going to be a blowout again. And I think the Clippers Mavs. I don't even think that game might even be close. If it is, whatever. I think Dallas comes out on top. We can talk about that later. But this game is I think this series might be my favorite series to watch because I have no idea who is going to win. A couple weeks ago, I had the Hawks winning in 6. When I made that bracket, I had the Knicks deciding to win. I said, screw it. I watched enough Knicks games to understand that I think they got that defensive, minded squad. But tonight, I think Trae Young comes out. I think Trae Young, decides, you know what? I'm tired of these people thinking, that they're better than, bro. Like, we have the same record or whatever. But like he walked out after they lost game 2. This man said, I see you in the A. This man, I'll see you in the A. Like, he looked like he was ready to go. He looked like he was pissed. I think Trae Young comes out and drops like 35, 37, and just hoops. I think he speaks to his team, and he's like, look, boys, like, I'm going to go crazy, but I'm going to need y'all to just be my supporting cast. I think he just dots everybody. I think he finishes with like 37 and like 7 to 10 assists, and he's dotting everybody, and they're just hitting shots. They're locked. You know what I'm saying? They're at home. They're ready to go. They're ready to take on this role. Like, we can look at this. They're 25 and 11 at home. And the Knicks are 16 and 20 away. Like, bro, I really think the Hawks might win this game tonight. Like, I think they're locked in.
I think the Hawks are going to win tonight as well. The fans are now back in full force, 100% capacity in State Farm Arena. The Atlanta Hawks. Here's the key, though. Trae Young, yes, he will go for his 30-plus points, but no doubt about it. But if John Collins doesn't play John Collins level basketball, and if he gets into foul trouble early, then the Hawks are screwed because they're not going to win this game. Because yes, you can depend on Gallinari and Bogdanovic to do their thing, but Collins is the 2 player on this team, and he's the guy that needs to step up for the Hawks in order to win this game. The thing that the Knicks found out in game 2 that can work for them well is Derrick Rose probably starting the game off. I think. What do you mean? No, you don't like it?
I don't like that. I don't like that because I feel like that second unit for Atlanta is not as strong defensively to stop Derrick Rose. That second unit defensively will not, like, Derrick Rose is cooking that second unit of Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? But if you start him, who's gonna guard him? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's either gonna be Trae or it's gonna be freaking Bogdan. Defensively, that's not a favorable matchup offensively for Derrick Rose. You think Derrick Rose is gonna attack and go crazy against a Trae Young or Bogdan? Yeah, I think he goes more crazy. But Lou Will is, you know what I'm saying? Lou Will's not known for his defense, papa. You put him in Lou Will or Kevin Huerter, bro, it's a little you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, D Rose is gonna go crazy. D Rose goes dummy against bench. If he starts, I mean, screw it. I could see him go for a little 25 piece. You know what I'm saying? But I think Derrick Rose is just more dominant off the bench and then come down the stretch. That's a different story. You know what I'm saying? Because D Rose won't be playing throughout the first 3 a lot in the sense of he'll have probably like 20 minutes the first 3 quarters. But the last, I feel like fourth quarter, he comes in, bangs out, little nice 10-minute game, and just bops. You know what I'm saying? Because he dropped. Oh my god, he played 39 minutes. Everything I just said is stupid.
Yeah, because he came out of the second half. He started the second half.
Did he really?
He played the whole third quarter, and he played most of the fourth.
Walking off set.
And that's why I'm saying
I'm sped.
Once he started the second half, the Knicks took off offensively. He leads the game for them.
Listen, Montana, you're right. I'm sorry. Everything I just said is stupid as hell of a statement. I swear, on my life, I did not know that he had 39 minutes. That just blew my mind.
Should start.
Take everything I just said. Let this man start. And see how it goes. Worst case scenario, you take him out and let everybody else come in and then drop his minutes down. You know what I'm saying? Let him play his role again. But damn, what the balls? No, listen. Like you said, here's my thing though. I don't think John Collins gets into foul trouble again. Right? And on top of that though, the game was close even with John Collins in foul trouble. The only reason that this blew out or not, it wasn't a blowout, but the only reason that third quarter was spazzed out was because, like you said, Derrick Rose started, but also Julius was slowly getting back into his bag defensively, which led the momentum to them getting that offensive-minded strong side from D Rose. Here's my problem, though. You think John Collins really plays that slow? And if he does, is it really that much of an impact?
No.
You think they blow out that, like, if you look at the third quarter of that game, right there, I think they won what, 13 or 32-18 in the third quarter after halftime. The Knicks did. You think even without John Collins that's going to happen again? A 32-18 quarter?
I mean, it could happen because the Knicks defense is really good. I don't know, like the Hawks just missed a ton of shots in the second half.
That's what I'm saying. Like Bogdan goes 2 for 13. You think he's going to go 2 for 13 again? Danilo Gallinari was 1 for 8 at going into the fourth quarter. You think he's going to finish 2 for 10? I don't think their problem was missing shots. It was, and half of them were wide open. I saw Bogdan miss literally like 7 wide open jumpers, and it wasn't even threes. It was just 7, a couple middies and a couple threes. I don't think it's like I feel like the game was just they just missed a lot of shots. That's why they lost. You know what I'm saying? And obviously John Collins not being there was a huge impact. But I don't know. I think the Hawks have a nice squad. So do the Knicks, but I just think that they don't shoot. They don't have a bad night. They don't in the A, shout out in the A, bro. They're in the A, man, with the damn fans. I don't think they come out slow. And if they do, then the Knicks win by like 15. I don't know what else to tell you.
I still think the Hawks. I mean, yes, the Knicks. I think it's going to be a close game, but the Hawks are probably going to win by 4 or 5 points. I think, if I had to put a guess on it, it's going to be a little bit. I think it's going to be a little bit more high scoring.
Yeah.
I mean, not
what's
too
your prediction on the score?
I'll say like 108, 103, or 104, something like that.
It's Hawks by 4 right now. You think that's valid?
Yeah, I think that's about right.
That's about right. Listen, if the Hawks come out as slow as they did, I think they get blown out because I think the Knicks know what to do and how to attack the Hawks. Now, if they hit their damn jumpers, I don't think it's a blowout, but I think the Hawks win by like 7. Down the stretch, it'll turn into, in the fourth quarter, it'll be like a 3-4 point game. Trae Young's gonna hit a big bucket, or Danilo will hit a big bucket, and then it's gonna turn into a fouling game. And then they're just gonna hit free throws, and then New York's gonna have to toss up freaking threes from Uganda, and then it's just gonna be that type of game. I think it's gonna be like 7 down the stretch, and it's just gonna be a fouling game, which would lead to the 7. That's what I think.
All right, so you have the Hawks winning. I have the Hawks winning. All righty. So let's move on to the next game on the list. The Brooklyn Nets, who have a 2-0 lead over the Boston Celtics, are now going to the TD Garden in Boston. Kyrie Irving is going to make his first appearance back there, I think, with the actual fans in the stands. Boston, I don't know what to say about it. I mean, Jason Tatum, I don't know how effective he's going to be in this game. I don't know how serious his eye injury is. But without Kemba Walker stepping up, without anyone else stepping up, the Boston has no chance in this game. Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, James Harden, they're going to go – I think they're going to drop at least 80 to 90 points combined. Joe Harris, Blake Griffin, the Nets are just stacked on every level of everything. Like, they have so much shooting. They have so much block defense on the bigs. They're actually playing a lot better defense lately than we give them credit for. Joe Harris is like a better version of Duncan Robinson. He's the guy I wish Duncan Robinson would be, but it's just,
don't we all?
I think Brooklyn's going to take this game tonight. They're going to go up 3-0. It's probably going to be a clean sweep whenever they play Game 4. Where do you see the Celtics have any chance tonight?
We don't even have to talk about this that much. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Like, this series without Jaylen Brown is just, oh my god, why is Siri talking? Okay. Without Jaylen Brown, it's sad, bro. It's sad because I really love Jaylen Brown. That's my guy. So no Jaylen Brown, and the way that 1 and 2 have gone is at that point, is it even a conversation? You know what I'm saying? Like, sure, then the fans are gonna do what the Miami Heat fans did. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna get riled up. They're gonna go crazy. They're gonna be dummy because their squad's, in the playoffs. But at the end of the day, it's just an unfortunate and bad situation that you had to get matched up with the Brooklyn Nets, my, NBA championship or my NBA champion team, whatever, in the first round. It's just an unfortunate team to be matched up in the first round with. And that's all I can really say. Especially with no Jaylen Brown. No Jaylen Brown, it's tough. It's tough. And Kemba not playing the way that Kemba used to play, it's tough, bro. It's tough. Ever since coming to Boston, Kemba's just not been that guy. You know what I'm saying? He's just not been the Kemba Walker that we both know. And
Kemba took the money and ran.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. It is what it is. Like, I credit them for giving it their absolute all. That's love. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, they just don't got the pieces right now, especially being down a huge player like Jaylen to even compete with this team. So I think it's just a beautiful, wonderful sweep. Call it a night. Goodbye. GG's in the chat. And that's pretty much it. There's nothing really you can really talk too much about to tell them, oh, let's go. We got it. Let's motivate ourselves. We can't. It's over.
The Celtics just don't have the firepower. In the offseason, they're going to have to look long and hard at how they can give Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum more offensive help. Yes,
Absolutely.
they have good defensive players, and Jaylen Brown is one of the best defensive players in the league, and so is Marcus Smart. But they're just missing offense, man. They're fired. Between last year and this year, the offensive discrepancy is huge. They probably need to get another shooter that can come off the bench and stretch the floor, because right now they don't have that person. They're definitely missing that, so I think that's what they need. Alrighty.
Absolutely.
So with the Brooklyn Nets and the Boston Celtics out of the way, the final game of the night is the big one. The Dallas Mavericks up 2-0. Los Angeles Clippers, they're on the verge, man. This is it for them. If they don't get tonight, I don't know what's going to happen with them going forward, because Kawhi Leonard's going to have to take a long, hard look. Is Paul George the right guy for me? Are the Clippers doing enough to help me and Paul George win games? Because they had their opportunity, man. They had Lou Williams. They had Harold. They had a bunch of pieces. They let everyone go because they felt like they were being toxic in the locker room. Everyone thought maybe, oh, yeah, this is definitely Doc Rivers' fault. Clearly, that's not the case, because what he's doing in Philly right now is pretty terrific. And to think about it, the Clippers, they were really good in the regular season last year. They just couldn't get it right in the playoffs. I mean, that's not Doc Rivers' fault. And they decided, oh, it's the players' fault, and they let a bunch of the role players go, and Kawhi Leonard and Paul George are by themselves. Pandemic P he's not really Pandemic P right now, but the supporting cast around the two of them is not enough. Luka Doncic and Kristaps Porzingis, they have the Clippers' number right now. And in my opinion, if Porzingis wasn't out last year, the Mavericks probably would have won that series. So I think the Mavericks are going to win tonight's game, 3-0.
Yep.
They're back home. Doncic is on another level right now. Unless Kawhi Leonard decides to pick up Doncic and guard him, the Clippers are in trouble here.
Yep. No, I absolutely agree. I think Luka comes out at home, nice little 40 bomb. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to stick with it. Nice little 37 to 40 shoot, maybe even 45, and he just comes to hoop. He just lets him know it's a statement game for Luka Doncic tonight. It is a statement game. The man is going to prove to the world that he's the damn greatest, bro. That if you didn't know about Luka, you're going to know about Luka tonight. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knows about Luka, but if you didn't know, and if you didn't trust this damn Dallas team, if you didn't think the Dallas Mavericks were capable of beating this Clippers team like this, you're going to know tonight. Luka's going to prove it to you. Luka's going to show it to you. He's going to give it everything he's got. I think they win by 10 points. I don't think it's a close game. I think Luka proves to the world this is why he's here, and this is why the Dallas Mavericks are going to the Western Conference Finals. Mark my words, right here.
Doncic can finally shut up that fraud Skip Bayless.
Yeah, there you go. Whoever he needs to shut up, bro.
Bird.
Whoever needs to shut up, bro.
I don't know how many times the guy has to prove how much he can score the basketball, and everyone keeps saying that he can't shoot, but the guy can shoot. The guy he can shoot.
He's a hooper.
Dallas is. I don't know what the over under is for this game, but
2 points.
Dallas is favored by 2 points.
No.
LA is favored still.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Jesus, man. Yeah, that's not happening. I would if I could bet on the Mavericks, I would, because it's going to be a quick game, and the Clippers don't have a chance. I really don't think they have a chance. Without other supporting scorers, Kawhi and Paul George can't do everything by themselves. They're on the road now. They lost the advantage. The Clippers are on the ropes, and after they lose tonight's game, there's going to be some serious conversations in LA going forward about how they're going to be able to put together the team. Because I know Paul George has got that contract extension. Kawhi still hasn't signed that contract extension. Is Kawhi going to want to stay in LA if they get bounced in the first round? There's going to be a lot of questions going forward for the Clippers if they don't somehow come back in the series. So, yeah. Anything else you got on this game, Sebastian?
Nah, I listen. All I can really say is the Clippers have to prove or have to step it up. Like there's so much to do tonight to save their series or to save their season, and I just don't know if they're going to be able to compete with this Dallas Mavericks team. Dallas, in my eyes, is the most. I've said it time and time again. Slept on and most underrated, underappreciated team in the entire league. Them and the Phoenix Suns. I don't care if the Phoenix Suns are down 2-1 right now. They're both the most underrated and underappreciated teams in the entire league, and that's just a fact. And the Mavericks are about to make a statement tonight, and it's about to be a blowout game. I'm telling you, bro. It's gonna be a blowout game by 10. I got the Mavs by 10. Luka's between 37 and 45. Luka's gonna drop tonight. Unless it's even more of a bigger blowout than I expected, then never mind. That's a different conversation. Luka's probably going to barely play just so he can rest up for Game 4. But by 10, Luka 37-45, that range. That's pretty much all I got to say.
37 to 45. Holy crap. Okay.
He's going to score 37 to 45 points.
45, that's a lot of points. Okay.
Hey, man. It's a statement game tonight. He's going to shut a lot of people up tone. Watch.
All right. I believe you. All right, so that ends our preview for tonight's games. We're going to open it up to the audience here. If you guys have any questions at all, let me and Sebastian know. Ask us any questions at all. We'll answer your questions before we end the show today. Before we answer the questions, oh my God, I saw that comment. I can't. Now I'm distracted. Thank you, Rudy. Thank you. Before we end today's show, I have some. God damn it! Now I can't stop laughing. God damn it, Rudy. God damn it.
Oh man.
Oh God. Here we go.
Lock in. It's okay. It's okay. Lock in. Ignore.
He has a question now, bro. I don't know what the kind of question is this.
All right. What question?
It's a sus question. I don't want to answer.
Keep talking, though, Montana. Keep deliberating.
All right.
Keep deliberating.
So,
go ahead.
Before we end today's show, obviously there's no questions in the chat. So if you haven't already, follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, LinkedIn, anything.
I have LinkedIn linked, brother. I don't know about that one. Oh man.
Okay.
How much did Luka drop Game 1? Lord Jesus Christ. I don't know. Let me see. Let me check.
Not Game 1. How much did Luka drop? Oh, Game 1. Okay.
Yeah, he did it. Yeah. 31 Game 1, and then 39 Game 2.
3 up.
Am I? Yeah.
It's gonna be
31 and
39.
I'm telling you, bro. He's gonna have 37 to 45 today. It's a statement game for the Dallas Mavericks, and I think Paul George has under 15 points, and Kawhi Leonard has over 25. I think actually scratch that. Kawhi has 25. over 30 points. Kawhi has over 30. Paul George is under 15. He has a sluggish night tonight. Paul George proves time and time again that he's just not the same after that surgery, and pandemic P is actually a real thing. That's what we're going to see tonight.
Alrighty. If there's any more questions, and if there's no more questions at all, all right. Now I'm gonna plug our last things before we end the show today.
Yes, sir.
Follow us on Apple, Spotify. Leave us a rating and a review, a follow, anything to help us support the podcast, support me and Sebastian. We much appreciate everything you guys are doing for us right now. Shout out to the 7 people watching right now.
Yes, sir.
My Twitter.
Montana, yeah, your Twitter.
I should probably put
I'll get
that
the
as
link
a
right
command.
I'll get that link right now.
My Twitter's at Wildcard Movies with a Z at the end, not an S. You can follow me. I'm mostly on Instagram if you want to follow me at Wildcard Movies also. I'm there also. Besides that, if Sebastian, where can they find you?
No, I mean, the usual. Rabbit FL literally everywhere. Rabbit FL on Twitter, Rabbit FL on Instagram, Rabbit FL officially now on YouTube. I made that my custom URL yesterday. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? So, youtube.com/RabbitFL. I am vlogging, you know what I'm saying? So, there will be a video up within the next couple days or so. Me and Montana are about to go munch right after this stream. We're going to go get some lunch. So, there'll be a little vlog of us, you know what I'm saying? Hey, yo. Yeah, so Rabbit FL literally everywhere. Any type of thing, Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, everything Rabbit FL. What about, you Montana, you already said your stuff, but is there anything else you want to say?
So that's it. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next week on Monday for another episode of Unspoken Rules. I'm Montana signing off. That's Sebastian, and we'll see you all later.
Take it easy.
Peace.